Everyone, good evening. Am I audible to everyone? If you can give me a yes in the chat box or a thumbs up, please. Thank you, Shanmati. Thank you so very much. So good to see you. Lovely. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Rajalakshmi. Thank you, Ayushi. Amazing. So perfect. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session on SoulSensei. We're extremely happy to have you all here. While we'll be waiting for another minute or two till we have more members join in, those who are here request you all to settle in well. So in case you need a journal and a pen to take down any kind of notes and a glass of water so you can stay hydrated throughout today's session. With that said, let's do a quick vibration check with everyone. How are we feeling? How are we doing? If you have one word to share in the chat box right now, how are we doing? SoulSensei is a safe space. There is no room for judgment. Any and every emotion is absolutely welcome. Rajalakshmi says, great, lovely. I'm super enthusiastic. I'm super excited. Shanmati says, great and happy. Oh my God, lovely. I love everyone feeling so joyful and excited to attend the session, says Sneha. Amazing. This is so good. So yes, thank you very much for sharing. How are we all doing and how are we feeling? It is so good to hear and read back from each one of you. So yes, hi everyone and welcome to today's session. My name is Pooja Anandani and I'm from Team SoulSensei and I'll be here throughout the session for anything and everything that you need. Before we begin, today's session is a free introduction to facelifting explained with Mariko. This session will just give you a taste of the practice. In just a few days, that is on the 14th of February, Mariko will be leading a full-fledged 150-minute session where we will be going much deeper into this session with the extended practice, a full-fledged question and answer session, and an entire session recording that you will be able to access. So I will immediately share details about it. We have an upcoming session with Mariko on therapeutic facelifting class. It is happening on the 14th of February at 10:30 a.m. in the morning and it is going to be a 150-minute long session. Can we imagine it? I am super excited and charged for that. Now you'll be able to see a clickable pop-up on your screens. You can immediately tap on the banner to register for the upcoming session and we've also shared the link for the same in the chat box. With that said, also, I will make a quick announcement and a request for everyone to please turn on your video cameras. Let's have a few smiling faces. Today is a session on face reflexology. Let our happy, radiant, joyful faces be actually seen on camera. It'll be so good to see everyone smiling. It gets little difficult chatting with the black boxes. So if we can have a few more cameras, it'll be so good. With that said, for people who are new to SoulSensei, our goal at SoulSensei is to make every session a safe and supportive space where you can ask freely, share openly, and receive abundantly, and leave feeling lighter, calmer, and more happier. So I'll share today's session flow. We'll begin with a quick introduction, followed by the session led by our guide. Today being a smaller session, we're keeping the floor open to as many questions as possible where Mariko will be answering to each one of us. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat box and do not hesitate. With that said, our today's session is led by our amazing SoulSensei Mariko on facelifting explained. I take great privilege in sharing about Mariko. She's a globally trained holistic wellness expert known for her gentle, intuitive approach to face reflexology and natural rejuvenation. She blends ancient Eastern healing traditions with modern therapeutic techniques, helping individuals release tension, enhance the skin vitality, and restore energetic balance from within. With a background in facelifting methods, reflex therapy, and mindful movement practices, Mariko brings a calm, nurturing presence to her work, supporting people in cultivating inner harmony and outer radiance through deep, restorative, holistic care. With that said, over to you, Mariko, and I hope everyone has an amazing session.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Your introduction is always fantastic. And I feel like I don't need to introduce myself anymore. I think everybody got the kind of the vibe and then what I do from Pooja's explanation. So today's session is a special version. I would have this time with you to listen to you and answer your questions. So as I will be guiding in-depth class on this coming Saturday, this session it will be more focusing on let you know how these techniques work and how it can be useful for your daily life. So if there is any technical questions, it will be explained on Saturday's class. But today, let's focus on giving you more information how face reflex therapy work, how this therapeutic face lifting would work, and how you can benefit. Okay. Right, then first I would like to start with a quick introduction about myself. So many of you probably noticed from my name, I'm originally from Japan and I have lived in different countries and based in Hong Kong, and also I'm traveling around the world through my work. And what I do is by touching people's face and understanding what's happening in each person's body, mind, emotions, and not only identifying what's happening, but also to help improve each person's health, mind, emotional conditions. So it's like helping each person's improvement in quality of life. That's my almost, I would say, ikigai, the life purpose. So let's start with listening to your question. So I think if you would understand where to begin, and as we continue conversations, I think you would have a more idea how I work and how you can benefit from sessions that I will be guiding this coming Saturday. So shall we begin already with the questions? I got some questions, like very specific questions. So I can probably start with that. Is that okay? If I start with the one question that I have already received before this session. So one of the followers asked me that she has acid reflux and sinus issues. She said, can you help me with your therapy session? So this is more like for receiving side, but also I can give you a guidance, what you can do for yourself. How I see this question, acid reflux, meaning the stomach area. Stomach area often correlates with the worrying too much, thinking ahead too much, general stress. That can sit in our stomach region. So if that continues, obviously our physical condition would be unbalanced. So first thing is to how to reduce such excessive worrying, overthinking, general stress. The sinus, interestingly, of course, I have to see how exactly the sinus issue is happening. It can be from flu, it can be from cold, it can be from chronic condition. So I have to identify exactly why this is happening. But one thing I noticed from a short question, stomach condition where the immunity is also connected. Maybe the immunity is lower. That's why the sinus issue might be happening. So from this information, I can create a program by touching the face through face reflex therapy. So this is how I see. Some of you, if you already have experiences in a traditional medicine system such as Ayurveda or TCM, then you might be able to understand, yes, she's saying how this condition and organ systems, emotions are correlated. So this is just a beginning of explaining how I work. So let's begin with the more questions. Pooja, would you be able to help me?
Yes, I will be reading them to you.
Thank
So
you.
we start with I have a swelling over my cheekbones due to collection of the lymph. How do I take care of that? It's by Neha.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Such a valuable question, because this is going to be exactly in the spotlight on this Saturday in the therapeutic facelifting program. When you hear facelifting, You might hear that, just for the beauty. Okay, I want to look young. So I would take the class. Or maybe I don't need to do any lifting. But even this condition, the lymph collected around the cheekbone area, it could be painful and you feel like your face is puffy. By using this therapeutic face lifting self-care program, you can actually slowly start letting the lymphatic drainage to happen. So by doing this day by day without vigorous, without invasive ways, you'll feel the release and you feel the change in your face. So this is one approach that you can definitely benefit from face lifting, therapeutic face lifting.
Next question. Can a downward smile be fixed in my 40s? And if yes, how should I do it?
Amazing. Wow. So downward lips. Okay, so let's begin with something altogether. Can you imagine yourself being in the sad, angry, or frustrated situation? Let's begin with this. You can just fake the feeling of anger, sadness, frustration. You can also look at my face. I'm trying to just fake the emotion. Okay. So now let's change it to happy moment. Like when you join this Q&A session, when we begin, how did you feel? Yeah, I can see the big smiles on the screen. You see the emotions and the lips, edge of the lips, the muscle, they are deeply connected. So the first thing you can do in a daily life is to look into your emotion. Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling frustrated? Am I feeling angry? But if you just switch the feeling, like for example, if you have children and the children running around breaking things in the room, you might get angry. But just take a deep breath and then create the inner smile. Immediately, the sensation around your mouth change. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So this is one way that we can simply do in the daily life. But again, coming back to this therapeutic face lifting session that I'm going to teach on Saturday, I will also pinpoint which muscle and how to stimulate to create more toned facial muscles on your face. So that would definitely be another help on top of looking into your inner condition, but also what to do from external point of view. Is it clear?
Thank you so much. How to remove puffiness under the eyes?
Yes. So again, all the techniques that I'm receiving, the question here, I will explain, I will show how to do, again, in this therapeutic face lifting class on Saturday. But I will tell you some more theoretical approach. Here is considered as a reflex zone toward kidney, bladder, function, energy. Here I'm talking about energy, not directly to the organ itself. So often, if we have too much fluid in our body, meaning it can be from the drinking excessive amount of water, or it can be consuming alcohol, or those fluid retention in our body might reflect around this area. Okay, so it can be also from lacking of sleep. It can be from also the deficiency of minerals. So we need to look into exactly what is causing. So when it comes to health diagnosis, it will be slightly different topic here, but at least from using your own hands, we can approach by certain touch, certain circulation, how to drain the fluid underneath of the skin, and that you can learn on this Saturday.
I feel so excited to be a part of Saturday's session, Mariko.
Thank
Uh,
you. I'm already also excited to knowing all this question coming because the program that I made is exactly the program to try to help improve the each person's condition that receiving questions here.
Thank you. Can pores be reduced? The pores in our skin, can they be reduced?
Yes, thank you for that question. So, just to be honest with you, I'm not the dermatologist. Okay, I'm not the skin expert. I'm more expert from looking our overall condition from inside. Having said that, the pore, by doing gentle touch and daily massage in a particular way with a natural ingredients, like for example oil, I use my own hand mixed blended oil for my face every day. And by combining the natural approach, yes, it will change. Many people say like, oh, Mariko, I want to have a skin like you. How do you do that? Yeah, just simply touch with your own hands with the selected natural products and giving love to your skin, and it can really change. And sometimes I have clients comes with the scars from pimples when they're young, and these scars on the skin can be also minimized by using certain herbal blends of oil can be remedy, and there are many ways that we can approach from the more natural approach rather than doing it like laser or any invasive approach. So
Okay. Um, the term melisma. Is there a way to fix? Is there any fix to this issue? To the term melisma, is there any way we can fix that?
melasma, as a face reflexologist, I see it from inside. Why that condition, why symptom is happening? It can be some emotional trigger caused unbalancedness in the gland systems, and then our own immune system might be start attacking. There are many underlying causes in this particular condition. So what I normally do is by touching each person's face, identify which part of our body emotions is attacking our system. And then based on that assessment, I make treatment program for each person. So this particular situation, I would say we need to look into inside and see if there's anything that might be triggering, can be emotional, can be lifestyle, can be also environment. So there are many different facts that could be the cause. So I will not have one exact answer, but this is how I would see.
Next question. How do we work with face sagging, especially the marionette lines? Along with that, how do we reduce our frown lines? So they are one and the same.
Thank you. So many people, they try to use like massage technique to reduce the marionette line. But I realized that this is reflection of the muscle, skin around the neck, shoulder, even to the back and the scalp. So with this, again, the face lifting, the therapeutic face lifting, I will show you what you can do to improve. And I tested myself and focusing on how to massage neck, shoulder, scalp dramatically change the result for this line. Okay.
Great, thank you. Any way we can reduce pigmentation?
Thank you. I love all these questions. I'm so glad that we are doing this session. So pigmentation, yes, I also have lots of pigmentation. You might not see it on this Zoom camera, but I have a lot here. And there are many, again, there are many reasons why this happens. One, exposure to sun. I'm age 50, but 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was constantly under sun because I was doing particular outdoor marine sports. So exposure to the sun differently later on created pigmentation. So in such case, what I can do is really using aloe vera, the carrot oil, not carrot seed oil, carrot oil, and all these like vitamin C rich oils really helps. And if you are in a perimenopause, menopause stage, this is related to hormonal balance. So we need to also look into what we can do to balance that hormonal system that might be causing the pigmentation. And another reason, it can be also lifestyle, can be also the diet. And again, this is the more little bit more medical probably point of view, but liver function. Here, often, especially on the right side, is connected to our liver systems based on traditional medicine systems. So that's something we would probably look into it. And based on the face reflexotherapy, when I touch certain area of the face, we can also identify if your liver is under stress, need to be done something. So this is how I see. Okay.
Wow, Mariko, there is so much to learn. I can't imagine the right side being connected to the liver. Oh my god.
Yeah,
How
I say
does
it's not 100% always that, but the most of the cases, even the hormonal balance and imbalances happens during the menopause, perimenopause. There is always something going back to the liver, gallbladder. We call meridian in TCM systems. So this is how I see.
wow? How does facial bone structure and posture affect dark circles, nasolabial lines, or skin sagging over a period of time? And what can I start doing at the age of 21 to prevent this? So we have Sneha. She's asked this question for you.
Amazing. You're already aware of such a high level of well-being. Congratulations. So posture, this is very, very important. You know, all the central nerve systems is coming out from our spine and then goes into the each part of our inner systems, physical body. So imagine if your body is hunching forward and rounded shoulder. Obviously, your chest will be squeezed and the amount of oxygen you can take because lung and heart will be squeezed. So the amount of oxygen you might be able to take would be much, much less than when it's open. This is like really common sense in my opinion. So the posture itself internally can change many things. But also muscle and skin, they're all connected. But if going into one direction, obviously the sagging and the balance within the face will go off. So what I normally tell my clients is to make sure you are aware of the body weight balancing, not always placing your body weight on the right side, only on left side, or even crossing legs. This will bring a lot of imbalance within your body. And that also changes the face structure. So posture is very important. And there are many ways that you can bring your spine long, open chest, shoulders far from your ears. And this is something I teach through Qigong, the energy work through the deep breathing. And also I used to teach yoga classes. So that was differently, it was a part of my program. So yes, I like the question, like how the posture change. And the bone, sometimes I see the people go the bone setting on the face to make the face small. I did that as a market research to see what's happening in the world, and I just could not bear with the experience. So forcefully try to change the bone. I don't think it's safe based on my personal opinion, but I think you might have different opinion, but this is my honest answer.
Great. Mariko, I want to understand, there are so many DIY practices which come online on, Instagram. You see a couple of reels, you're using a gua sha or something. What are the common mistakes that people really do while DIY facelifting, and what can cause them damage instead of recovery?
Great. So unfortunately, I don't follow any of those influencers, Instagram or YouTube, because the first question I have in my mind is that how many of those influencers or people practitioners actually know how our faces are connected to our internal systems, organ systems, energy lines, also how the nerve system connected to our brains. By understanding those fundamental systems, then I think it would make sense to share such method. But let me get back to like more fun part. The first thing I would like you to share with you here is never do any movement in a fast speed. I always try to do with the long breathing and slow movement. The reason why I recommend a slow movement is that we want to regulate our nerve systems. If you do fast, like especially, I know some people ask me, oh, can you make a program with a fast speed, like, as if like really cool movement? Yeah, but for what? The very important part is that we have to make sure that we can connect our inner self by calming our nerve systems. If you do fast, what happens is that like you want to get more excitement. Why do you have a stressful life in daily life? So I would like you to understand that your own hands are the greatest tool to give you self-healing. And when you receive healing from others, even massage, if those therapists does a very fast speed, how do you feel? I personally would not like it. So this is also again based on my experiences and also understanding anatomy of human beings. And gua sha, it's such a nice way to use. It's very easy, but also the angle how you use, it's also very important. And the speed, and how deep you do, and whether you're using natural products to give nice slide duplication. Okay.
Mariko, we have three more questions. If that's okay, we can go ahead with the next three.
Sure.
So, Anushka has asked this question: if you provide any online certification program, and how much would it cost? Do you do any online certification programs?
Online, I do only self-care program. The actual professional level program, I have a different one along with a particular school where they have an international certificate program. So I'm the one of the only, I think, less than 10 certified teachers in the world from particular school. And I do professional course, therapist course with a diploma issued by the head school where I also have permission to teach. And then price-wise, that's unfortunately I cannot quickly answer here, but yes, I teach, I'm the official instructor, and that would be hands-on training.
Great. I think with that, Mariko, with your permission, we can come to a close to today's session. So, in the interest of time, we could only cover this much. What you really felt, experienced, heard, and got your answers back is just a glimpse. Can you imagine? In the extended session on the 14th of February that we have at 10:30 in the morning, there is so much more. There is time for an entire guided practice where Mariko will be practically showing us tools of how are we going to work around with our face. It's incredible how this shift has happened. The 30 minutes has caused such a big shift and inquisitivity for sure in each of us. We have the full-fledged 150-minute session where there is time for so much more deeper understanding, exploration, and personalization. So, in case your questions have not been answered today, please join us on the 14th at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. We have Mariko's session for 150 minutes long on therapeutic facelifting class, where each of your answers is going to be definitely answered. Each of your questions is going to be answered, and you're going to have a recording that you can go back to, revisit, and a profound, in-depth understanding of this. So now you'll be able to see a clickable pop-up on your screens. We have an upcoming session with Mariko on therapeutic facelifting classes on the 14th of February, that is 3 days from today, at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. It's going to be a 150-minute long session. Imagine what our face will look after the session. I can't. I am super, super excited for that one. Thank you, Mariko, for such a profound session. We've also shared the link.
30 minutes went so fast.
It's all your charm and beauty, and how we are all excited to look more younger and nice and exciting looking. So with that said, we're also sharing the link in the chat box to Mariko's upcoming session on the 14th of February at 10:30 in the morning on therapeutic facelifting classes. It's going to be a 150-minute long session. With that, I hope to see each one of you there. It is 3 days from now. Block your calendars and immediately tap on the banner to register yourself a slot. With that, thank you so much, Mariko. Once again, thank you everyone for joining today's amazing session. Please do hydrate, drink a lot of water, and have an amazing evening ahead. Thank you everyone, and take care.